This the TempahZone podcast.
All right, now I gotta get on to my top 5 albums
Sheesh.
of 2018. Now, this one was hard to make, but I
think about this every day.
yeah, but I had to do it, man. I had to make it happen, and like I said, popularity is one of the factors that comes into it, but obviously the music has to be dope. And number 5, I had to put this up there because I really like this artist. I really like this album, and this artist just doesn't get enough respect, man. You need to put some respect on his name and stop talking about his old stuff and acting like he don't make music anymore. What happened to Lupe Fiasco? What's Lupe Fiasco? Oh, I love Kick Push. I love Superstar. Man, listen to Tessio and Youth. Listen to Drogas Light and listen to Drogas Wave, the number 5 album of the year. This album right here, according to Pitchfork, was a cautious hip-hop fallback that poses a revisionist fantasy about underwater slaves sinking other slave ships. The premise that he abandons during his 24 tracks, according to Pitchfork, which is true. He doesn't really stick to the concept album that crazy, but it's still a super concept album. It's an album where you listen start to finish, you get a different listen. If you listen front to back, you get one message, and then you listen in
up
reverse.
To down,
you get a different one.
Like how Kendrick did with Damn.
Yeah, it's like that's the type of shit that I love to see, man. This album is so fire, man, and I just I can't stress enough that people need to hear this album. I gotta ask you, did you hear?
When you said Lupe, I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. Definitely, I know.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite artists, man. I'm a big Lupe Fiasco fan.
Didn't even know he dropped this year, so I'm gonna have to go listen to that.
Oh yeah, and
some stuff I just be playing out, missing on.
That's fair. Yeah, and I'm glad you're honest about it, because some people
I don't catch when people like last night, bro.
Yeah.
And I told you I still haven't listened to Astral World as a whole album yet.
Because you're not ready for it, and that's okay.
And I said that to one of my boys last night. They're like, "Yo, what, bro? Like you?" I'm like, "Bro, I remember when I woke up from a nap after work. It's 3 a.m. now, so it's like I knew Travis had dropped. So I grabbed my phone, hit play, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, nah, this ain't it for me right now.
Yeah, right.
It's not it that this isn't it. But for my particular mood at the time, I just wasn't ready to
embrace
go.
It, yeah.
And I still haven't just went. So one of these days, I'm gonna sit down by myself and just throw on the headphones.
Hell yeah.
Take a trip to Astro World.
Yeah, when you're ready, you're ready, man. Yeah, this album just, I think it's the most underrated album of 2018.
Okay.
It's Lupe Fiasco's the most underrated artist in hip hop, and I think he needs, put some respect on Lupe Fiasco's name. That's how good he is. It's
he's done a lot.
Insanely good. Yeah,
he's done a lot, and he's done a lot in the cut, and he's done a lot when he's been out here. But like I said, in this day and age, bro, when you put certain music in front of some people, it's like, oh, get that out of here.
Yeah.
In the case where you have some people who are open-minded when it comes to music, so all right, I may give this a try, and then you have people who just know, all right, this is it. Not because someone else says it's it, but because this is really where it's at. So.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. So my favorite songs off this album are Sun God Sam and the California Drug Deal. That's my favorite song off the album.
Okay.
Wave Files, Imagine, and Allen Forever. This album, it hits different styles. Lupe Fiasco does different things. There's songs that go hard. There's songs that make you sad. There's songs to chill to. There's
I like
songs that are
albums
lyrical.
like that.
There's songs on there that the songs on there where he doesn't even rap. It's just like a violin. It's just a beautiful violin playing. You could play this album in front of your parents. You could play this album anywhere. There's more than half the album. There's no swears, no cursing. It's just
just one of those albums.
A good album, and I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. I love. I would if this was a more personable top 5, I would put this number 1. But if popularity is coming to factor, which I think is really important, we're doing the top 5, I gotta lower it down to number 5. So let me get off of Lupe Fiasco, because I could talk about this album all day, and move on to number 4, Black Panther soundtrack. Now this blew my mind. I mean, because when I hear an album's being made for a movie,
I don't
not
even listen to movie soundtracks like that. But that Black Panther album,
Fire.
I went to go bump.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's really good, man. I mean, you got Kendrick Lamar working on it, SZA working on it, The Weeknd on it, features with Innocent Paak, J-Rock,
I got my boys out there from Vallejo, SOBRBE.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I like that. I like the flows
When
they
I heard
do,
them,
man. They're
I
fun.
started
They're fun.
Like they give you that little. It's just energetic. You got a little
you
bop
wanna
to
do like
it. Like you feel me?
You want a crip walk or something? I don't know what it is about, but it's just really dope, man. This album just.
Cali has that vibe to it. California artists are different, bro. Like when it comes, I feel like West Coast music is different in general. But when you go into LA and you go into different places of LA, you get, I mean, not LA, California.
Yeah.
You go into different places of Cali, you get a whole bunch of different vibes. And it's like the way that they can merge their vibes together and not have any problems. Like, just unite and be like, yo, let's make some bomb music and just like, you feel me? It gives you that good feel.
Hell yeah, man. And like, you know, with this being a soundtrack album, there's all different styles.
Exactly.
It's very thematic. So it's like a really dope listen start to finish. And when you got Kendrick Lamar, you know, EP in this thing, you know, you're basically getting a Kendrick Lamar album and Friends. Like it's really dope.
Exactly.
Like, and I, you know,
shout out Kendrick.
Oh, Kendrick is just something else, man. my favorite songs off this album are "Pray for Me" with Kendrick and The Weeknd, "King's Dead" with J-Rock, Kendrick, Future, "All the Stars" with SZA and Kendrick, and "The Ways" with Sway Lee and Khalid. Those are my favorite songs off the album.
That's definitely a good album.
Really dope, man. Number 3 on this list, I got "Redemption" by J-Rock. Now, this is another underrated artist, but this album, well, actually, you know, I'm not going to say J-Rock's underrated. He's not underrated anymore. I think after this album, I think people start to realize, all right, J-Rock is
I'm
super
not
talented.
going to hold you. My boy sent me Out of Sight, Out of Mind.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs.
And that's when, like, I always knew about J-Rock, or like you feel me? But like I said, there's just some stuff that I miss that I don't listen to it. But when my boy sent that through, it made me like really sit there and go through the album a little bit and like, all right, I see what J-Rock's all about. But that Out of Sight, Out of Mind track with Cole, and Cole's one of my favorite artists.
Oh yeah.
So hearing Cole on it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Not the fact that you're keeping up with Cole, but we know that Cole feature just don't go anywhere.
Nah,
you feel
man,
me?
yeah.
So it's like.
Hell yeah. Nah, I feel you on that. Like, this album, you know, it's Grammy nominated.
Definitely.
It's cohesive. It's to the point. It's just, you know, and it sets a standard. You know, 90095 was his last release in 2015, but I think with this, you know, like, you know, 3 years, you know, like, where's J-Rock? Drops this fire album on y'all and says, shh, I got you.
Definitely.
My favorite songs on this are Out of Sight, Out of Mind, Win, The Bloodiest, and Wild Freestyle with Kendrick Lamar. Just dope album, man. Number 2 on my list is Astroworld by Travis Scott. We were just talking about this a lot, man. His last solo release was Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight back in 2015.
Now that album there.
It's a dope album. Yeah. It's just Travis Scott, man, just
I fuck with his artistry.
One of the most talented artists out there. I think when it comes to this auto-tune, rap singing, you know, merging of the styles.
It's not your average music from Houston either.
Nah, not at all, man. He's in a completely different world of his own, man.
Exactly.
This album right here made Travis Scott a legend in my eyes.
Okay.
I'm serious. Like, I you know, that might be a hot take to some, but to me it feels right because I just, you know,
for what he does, you feel like he maximized, you said. It's
a roller coaster. It's really Astroworld. It's really
that's how everyone's describing it too.
It really is, man.
I seen a clip of him talking about like the concept behind the album and why he did what he did and how he was just saying like when they was younger as kids, like they had Astroworld and then they took it down. So like he wanted to give a piece of himself.
Oh yeah.
And give people a piece of like where he came from and the people where he came from a piece that they had lost. So like when you do something like that, like I like shit like that. When you're hitting at a personal angle, but still letting your fans take that ride with you. Know why Astroworld is what it is to you, to your city, to your you feel me? So
it's really fire.
I definitely the way the good reviews I'm hearing about this album is preparing me to listen to it even more. Like, all right, you're missing something, but once you get there, you'll see what it's all about. So.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, my favorite songs off this album are Sicko Mode, Skeletons, and Stargazing. I guess all the songs that begin with S's. Just so happen
The S Factor.
Yeah, just the S Factor. I can't help it. And my number one album of 2018, this may be controversial because it only had 7 tracks of awesomeness, but it was short, sweet, and to the point, is Kids See Ghosts by Kids See Ghosts, a.k.a. Kanye West and Kid Cudi. Feel the Love and Reborn is just 2 of my favorite of the 5, but this whole album is just unbelievable. And the reason why it's my number one album is because it is short, sweet, and to the point. And you know, a lot of albums they usually have 7 dope songs, and then the rest is okay.
Like
but
7 more tracks that you just don't like.
Yeah, you don't really care too much about. But this is like 7 hard tracks. I think there's one on there I'm not too crazy, and I think that's the title track, Kids See Ghosts. But overall, this album, man, is just unbelievably fire, and it's dope to see Kanye and Kid Cudi coming together and making something dope happen. You know, I think we you know, these guys have worked with each other, and you know, we saw them separate when Kid Cudi left Good Music, and now that they're back together, I think everybody's like, oh, thank God, all right, and they're coming back with dope music too. So
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not that satisfied with Ye.
That's
after 2018.
This is the only thing from Kanye I was like, yes. Like, but everything else I was like,
I didn't go
like,
listen.
Ye wasn't crazy.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
didn't go listen to Kids See Ghosts because when I went and took the time to go listen to Ye, it was like, all right.
Yeah.
This wasn't like, I respected whatever point people are at in their life, but it's like at the same time, Kanye West comes from one of my favorite like labels ever in the music game.
Good
you feel
music
me?
is unbelievable.
And
Unbelievable roster.
before even good music, like this, the whole Rockefeller movement, like you feel me? The birth of Kanye through that. So when I look at Kanye and the transgression, the progression, it's like, all right, bro, where we at?
Yeah, when you look at it as a whole.
Like before, you'll go on these rants and then give us, you feel me? Now it's like you ranting every day, and it's like, bro, where we at?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm with anybody having their views, how they feel. But when I think about the music, it's just like, damn, this Kanye music isn't hitting how this Kanye music was. So it's like a different take on it.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I feel you. But yeah, I gotta put it on my number one, just because I just felt like,
I know a lot of people
strength,
who love that album. So.
But yeah, and the message too,
Yeah.
Kids See Ghosts. It's like there's a lot to say about that.
Yeah, definitely.
My honorable mentions are Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone, East Atlanta Love Letter by Black, and another super underrated album, Book of Ryan by Voice the 5'9".
That's a good one.
Yeah, I had.